Robert,
Yo, what's shaking AC?
you look kind of red. What's going on?
Well, we've had incredibly warm weather here, like 38 degrees with the humidex. So that's 38 Canadian degrees. And so I've been going for a run outside in the sun because I've been so needy for hot heat and just like sizzling sweat. So I take my shirt off so I have no like tan lines and no glasses so I don't look like a raccoon. I
Right.
just run like 5 kilometers at a time. And evidently, I'm getting a bit of a tan, I
You
guess.
evidently forgot to put on some sunscreen. But
Yeah.
anyway, so 38, I don't know what that exactly converts to in Fahrenheit for our American friends,
Oh,
but
hot. It's hot degrees.
it's what?
Hot degrees.
It's just hot degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it's hot.
Yeah.
Humid and hot. All right. So what's going on today?
Oh man. Okay, listen. I'm asking for a friend. Um, should I
Friend
need,
wants to know.
yeah, my friend wants to know, should franchisees be freaked out or paranoid or upset or worried or troubled when the franchisor wants to open another franchise location somewhere within their vicinity, somewhere where they might think that it is a competition potentially?
Ooh, yeah, this one happens a lot. I see this a lot. And I've even been the one that was on the receiving end of other franchises opening in my territories or my region, and it had the impact. But that's a really good question. And I see franchisees get really worried and frustrated and scared, or just even scared because they're like, well, is this going to cut into my sales or whatever? So we used to always say that, you know, we were always planning on growing the brand. So it's always been on borrowed time. Like if you were accessing beyond kind of where your customers typically would come from, and you happen to be getting customers from further away, then that was just borrowed time, and you're kind of lucky to have that. But that doesn't really convince the franchisees that it's all good. But what I always tell people to do is, well, start by setting that expectation up front, right? When you're having the first few conversations with them in the recruitment process, you want to make sure that they understand that we are planning on growing, and that is it's inevitable. Eventually, we are going to be opening in your market. And so we want to create that culture of collaboration. I mean, I even hear sometimes, especially nowadays with people moving to a lot of virtual, people saying that, my franchisees are kind of fighting over whose client that is. And I'm like, you gotta help them understand that if we don't work together, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot, and that by working together and we don't nickel and dime each other, we're going to grow much more. So that's the beginning point. And then talking about the value to the franchisees.
Yeah, okay, but before you talk about the value to franchisees, for clarity, franchise systems can go one of two ways, where they actually have a protected or designated territory, or where they do not, right?
Yeah, good
And
point.
this scenario can be a problem in both cases. If there's no protected territory, you could be down the street. If there is a protected territory, this new franchise could be just right on the border, which from a geographical distance perspective could be close. I mean, we could talk about territories in a different rant, but
Yeah.
there is that factor to consider too.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, yeah, I mean, if there's protected territory, the franchisee tends to feel a little safer. But yeah, there's still a possibility that somebody can come in and grow into close to their market. And so I always come back to helping them understand the value of the fact that the brand is growing. And there's, I think, three things that really it comes down to.
Okay.
One of them is there's always three things.
I love lists. There's always
Yeah,
three or
there
five.
you go.
Sometimes there's 10.
The last time there were five. You had five when we were talking about vetting software for like technology and stuff. And yeah, I've been getting some great feedback and direct messages about that one. So if anyone hasn't checked that out, go back and see that. But overall, the brand awareness growing. I know people might have a hard time understanding that, but the more people know the brand, when people like customers and clients and potential clients move around and they're like, oh, there's a Control V here as well in Winnipeg. I used to live in Kitchener and there was one there and I love that one. So that brand awareness is going to lead to like more customers, right? The other thing is that people don't realize is the more units that are out there paying royalties, the more resources the franchisor has to support them. So whether that's more additional, maybe national marketing or more field support or brand innovation or things that can happen, right? So the resources. And then the third thing, it look like you might want to jump in there.
No, I got something on the tip of my tongue, but I want to listen to this third thing.
Okay. The third thing is I find these days, well, a lot of the people I work with anyway, their franchisees are very purpose driven. And whether it's something like Control V, where you're bringing VR to the masses, and that can extend all the way to like seniors homes, to like help people understand how amazing VR is in so many ways. It's not just a gaming thing. Whether that might be, speaking of seniors, like in-home care, where the purpose is making seniors helping them have dignity again in life. So if they're coming in to make an impact, if the franchisee is wanting to make an impact and they have that sense of purpose, well, maybe helping them understand the value that as we grow, the more people we can impact, and the overall good that brings as well. So really just focusing on, I think, the value to them being more brand awareness, which equals more customers, more resources at the home office to support you, and you're making we're collaboratively making a bigger impact, and more purpose is being had.
Okay, so that seems to make total sense. And I feel like when you say that to somebody, they're like, okay, that makes sense. But why do they still have a problem with it? Yeah, okay, I get it. More locations, there's more brand awareness, we're going to make more money, you know? If more people know about us and they come to us, we're going to make more money. Like, but why do they agree and then disagree? I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like it's like, from a very right-brained perspective, they're like, sure, that makes all the sense in the world. Thanks for your opinion, Angela. However, you are not running this business, and this is how much money I'm going to lose. And this is how much revenue I'm going to lose. And this is how I'm not going to be able to outpace my revenue with my costs. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels to me like they agree with the mission and the concept, but they don't truly believe it. They're still 100% revenue.
Yeah. I think that in that situation, the best thing to do is show them data. Show them data from whether it's another franchise system. There's different franchise systems out there that have ways that, that haven't been around long enough that you can probably dig up some data on, and show them that like sales typically, not only do you regain those sales, but then it ends up being inflated. And that's, for me, we went through it going around, getting hit almost 25%. And then in the longer term, regaining and coming out ahead, beyond what we were at even before, because of the brand awareness. So maybe showing them the data would be helpful as well, and just proof of that situation. If you've got any other within your system or other franchise companies, you can point them to look at.
Yeah. The reason why the young generation goes out to eat McDonald's after a night of drinking, which is now considered the fourth meal, is because they've all tried McDonald's and they all know what it is. And they all know that they agree that it is fantastic. And the only way that they have had that opportunity is because McDonald's has spread so widely. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Everybody knows it, right? Yeah. And I mean, for us, when I was bringing the M&M Meat Shops brand to the island, it looked like the demographic wasn't quite the M&M Meat Shop people, like our kind of people that would be our customers. However, so that's why I had to come and open it.
Every time you say the island, I keep thinking about the Caribbean. I'm like, wait.
I know. I don't live in the Caribbean. I live on Vancouver Island.
I just want to pour like a rum and Coke or something.
Yeah. Well, you can go do that if you want. I won't judge you. But when we brought the chain to Vancouver Island, oh my gosh, like we were worried because the demographic didn't look so right. But then because of brand awareness, our first store, our average unit volume for M&M Meat Shops was about $1 million. We did 1.7 million in our first year with our first store, only because I always like to pretend it's because we were awesome and I was just good, but really it's because the market was ready and the brand awareness was there. And if we hadn't already built up the market elsewhere, that never would have happened. So brand awareness it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It is a thing. Yeah. So that's
all right. Let's wrap this up. We got some budgeting to do.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Go
be awesome.